Hey, Kai, welcome back to the next video. Welcome back to, I guess, a rant. Today I'll be talking about adult friendships and my experience, and also things that other people have shared with me. I've been going around asking people their experiences and what are some of the things that they've realized with adult friendships, and I'm here to share that today. Having and keeping friendships as an adult is very hard. I don't know if it's the same with everyone else, but personally I find it to be a bit difficult. You have moments that are fulfilling and happy, and moments of silence and not really knowing where you stand. And of course this differs from person to person. Not all of my friendships are this way. I believe it's all a part of the learning process. As it relates to consistency, it's a lot harder to find time, especially because everyone is living their lives and everyone's so busy, and we have different things going on for us. Sometimes we don't have anything going on, but still it's just so hard to reach out to somebody and to talk. Sometimes it just feels fake, even when it isn't. Even when you just genuinely want to talk, it's just hard to find the right things to say. Everybody's life is so different, and it has completely shifted from our childhood friendships where all of us had basically the same things going on for us at the same time. We all were in school learning the same things at the same place on the same schedule, so of course it would have been easier to communicate then than it is now. But I do believe that connections thrive on the experiences that we have been through thus far, and so I'd like to believe that adult friendships work the same way. I think someone's coming. I know that now we're making the time and the space to better ourselves and to really focus on what is it that we want from this life. And I think that's critical in individuality. Back then we were focusing on fitting in and not making much of a scene, I guess, and just being relatable. And I feel now that we're like, our friends are on the same timeline as us, we're trying to figure out what is meaningful to us now. When we were younger, a lot of our individuality was shaped by our peers and our parents, and as we get older, it's time to shift our focus and try to rediscover ourselves on our own, and that can be scary and that can take a lot of time. And without common interest and relatability on certain things, that can change the dynamic of your friendships, I believe, and things can get superficial real fast. When we were younger, we'd associate frequency of communication to how well our friendship is. Most of the time, your best friend was the person that you'd spend all your time with, all your time talking to, all your time hanging out with. And now, you find that your best friend is the one that you probably speak the least to. Well, they hold a special place in my heart. My friendship with my best friends thrives on our experiences of the past and mutual understanding that we won't always have time to speak to each other throughout the day, and that is perfectly fine with me, even though I miss them. It's important to also think about what you guys both mutually bring to the friendship, and through moments of stillness you can show them appreciation. And there are friends that will consistently check up on you and be there every step of the way, and you have friends that will check in once in a while and friends that won't check in that much at all, and that doesn't make one friend better than the next. Well, in my opinion, that doesn't mean that the friend that checks up on you once a month doesn't love you or doesn't care for you. That's what I believe. Something that I personally think about every time I talk to someone new or I'm around people that I talk to all the time is the constant pressure to be interesting or to have something to say. I feel that pressure all the time, and a lot of the times I just don't know what to say, and a lot of the times I just want to be still, and that I can see how that can make the person around me feel as though I'm not interested, which is not the case. It all comes down to like letting them know that, hey, I like being around you. Don't take me not talking a lot as me being uninterested. That's just how I am. It took me a while to actually speak up about that because I just assumed that they would know, but I later found out that that wasn't the case. And it's just so easy to be misunderstood and to be dropped and it hurts, like it really hurts, because no one wants to feel like that. No one wants to feel abandoned, and I'm sure we all know that feeling all too well. So I'm trying to look at my friends and be a lot more compassionate towards them. And there's another like tough topic, and it's like finding the right words to say during loss or grieving or a difficult time, because personally I don't know what to say to my friends when they're going through situations like that, and I wouldn't want them to feel as though I'm not thinking about them or I don't care enough. It's just that sometimes when you don't know what to do, you freeze up. I remember when my great grandma died, my best friends, they're literally there onboarding and they would talk to me and stuff. My other friends, they kind of avoided me in a sense, and at first I was wondering why. Like, I would have thought that they'd be a bit closer to me, at least just being there to talk to me. Like, we don't have to talk about what had just happened, but just being there, being present. I would have wished that they would have been there, even if they weren't speaking. And now I look back and I realize, now that I've been in their position, I realize how hard it is to actually do that when you don't know the right things to say. And I realize that it's okay to like let your friend know that you're not really sure what to do, but to also just show up for them. Just be there, just be there, be present, even if you don't know what to say. I'm closing off with an important question to ask you, and that is, are you operating on the same timeline as you were as a child, as you were in high school, in prep school, primary school? Are you operating on that same timeline from the past? And realize that those methods of communicating and friend making back then won't apply to your life right now and the life that you're building. And so give yourself grace and understand that these changes are normal, and that when you sift out the bad energy and the friends that are quote unquote not good for you, or I don't like saying toxic sometimes, then your life just becomes a lot better. I found myself constantly having to ask myself that question, because in the past I could talk to 10 people a day, 10 plus people a day, and keep up the conversation all day and all night. And now I can barely speak to 2 people. And sometimes I find myself trying to push and talk to more people, like trying to get back onto that same 10 people routine that I used to do back then. And I realized that that's just not me anymore. Like, I have different responsibilities, I have different interests, I have a different life. And so from time to time, I think you should check yourself with that question. And thank you so much for listening to me rant about adult friendship. And let me know what you think. Like, what are some things that you think affect adult friendships nowadays, or like some issues? Because I didn't really go into that because I didn't want to make this video too long. But like, what do you think is the hardest thing for you right now in your season of adulthood? Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.